You ever find yourself staring at a scene so ridiculous you almost wish someone would pinch you, just to make sure you aren't trapped in some reality TV fever dream? Well, let me take you to that exact kind of day, right here in Westbriar, where the phrase, "you can't make this stuff up," became a living, breathing mantra. Picture this: a bright, almost offensively sunny Saturday, the kind that should be reserved for little league games or backyard picnics. Except today, our main road was blocked by Karen. Yeah, that Karen, the self-proclaimed HOA queen, standing in the middle of the street, rhinestone tiara sparkling, one hand gripping a glittery baton, the other swirling a half-empty glass of Chardonnay, as a National Guard convoy rumbled toward her like an unstoppable steel river. Behind her, bounce house deflating, kids screaming, a DJ blaring "Wannabe" by the Spice Girls, and the smoky scent of ribs wafting through the air like some deranged suburban parade gone rogue. And I swear, one neighbor actually whispered, "Is she really about to take on the U.S. Army with a party tent?" Now, let me back up a sec. Westbriar's your classic cul-de-sac utopia: trimmed lawns, matching mailboxes, and an HOA so strict they'll fine you for the wrong brand of grass seed. Karen had been running this place with an iron fist, or at least a sequin glove, for years. She once wrote up my neighbor for excessively whimsical wind chimes. So when she decided, without telling a soul, to throw a mandatory community gala and block the only road in and out, you'd better believe we all rolled our eyes, but showed up anyway, mostly out of fear. But here's the kicker: Karen never checked the calendar. She didn't ask the city, the HOA board, or apparently even Google. Turns out, that road was the exact route scheduled for a National Guard convoy transporting sensitive, time-critical equipment. 6 weeks in the planning, permits and all. So at 2 p.m., just as a kid faceplants into the bouncy castle, and someone's grandpa is manhandling a corn dog, an armored Humvee pulls up to a wall of balloons, cones, and an inflatable unicorn like something straight out of a fever dream. Specialist Harris, the lead driver, radios it in. "Sir, the road's blocked by civilians and, a unicorn." Captain Torres, cool as ice, tells the convoy to halt. He'll handle this one himself. Karen? She's in her element, twirling that baton, sunglasses bigger than her ego, telling Torres this is sacred HOA ground, and he'll need a clown car permit to drive through her party. Torres stays calm, tries reason, explains this is a federally sanctioned route. She just laughs, spins around, and rallies her crowd, half of whom are now Googling, "Can you get arrested for blocking the army?" Meanwhile, parents are trapped, deliveries stalled, and Mr. Patel is pleading because his wife needs dialysis. Karen just tells him to call a helicopter. As if summoned by her entitlement, a National Guard Blackhawk appears overhead, not for Mrs. Patel, but as backup for the convoy. That's when things go from sitcom to breaking news. Suddenly, we're a federal case. Up at the governor's office, they're sweating bullets. One of those Humvees is carrying experimental fuel units, the kind where every minute counts. Back at the scene, Karen's live streaming, hashtagging herself Convoy Queen, posing for selfies in front of the tanks like it's her birthday. Kids are crying, neighbors mortified, and the DJ's cranking "Livin' La Vida Loca," while officers arrive and stand awkwardly between a barbecue smoker and a cotton candy machine. Karen waves, "Boys in blue, grab a plate." The police try explaining ordinances and federal law, but she insists she's got diplomatic immunity as HOA president. One cop whispers, "I need a transfer." Another just shakes his head. And yeah, by sundown, Karen is trending. Videos of her shouting at military vehicles, declaring Westbriar a non-federal zone, all over the internet. National news anchors can barely keep a straight face. Suburban standoff flashes across the screen. You know what I mean? But here's where it gets wild. The governor, who, by the way, is ex-military, personally authorizes Torres to clear the route, state backing and all. Meanwhile, Karen's still on the DJ mic, rambling about sacred suburbia and the Constitution, even as her bounce house collapses like a metaphor for her grip on reality. Neighbors are panicking. One mother's crying because her kid's asthma meds are stuck outside the barricade. Yet Karen's blowing kisses to the Convoy surveillance drone, thinking it's a news chopper. Up on the hill, a federal agent's reviewing footage, jotting down confirmed obstruction, probable cause. Even her own board is falling apart. A former treasurer's emailing his resignation, board group chats getting renamed from leadership core to emergency response. And then comes the twist. The cavalry, in the form of Officer Rubin, who's seen more than his share of HOA tyrants, steps up. He shows Karen every permit, every email, every law she's breaking. She rips the paperwork, drops it in a fountain, says it's not notarized by the HOA and doesn't count. That video, viral in under a minute. Karen versus the National Guard. Live constitutional crisis. The convoy team starts moving, gently dismantling barricades, rolling aside the unicorn, redirecting foot traffic. Attendees scatter like spooked pigeons. Karen, suddenly desperate, tries to block a truck with the grill, but an officer calmly tells her she's being detained. No drama, no spectacle, just the sound of her power evaporating as the convoy rolls on. Neighbors come out, not to protest, just to watch. The same people Karen bullied for years now stand silent as her delusions finally hit a wall called reality. A few even clap. Nobody stops the military. Nobody defends Karen. By nightfall, her meltdown is the nation's entertainment. Late-night shows have a field day, memes explode. Unicorn versus military trends worldwide. The HOA's melting down, board members resigning. The treasurer clarifying he only handled snack logistics. Residents start remembering every weird rule Karen pushed. Banned bird feeders, fines for cheerful wind chimes, even a crackdown on vegetable gardens. Then, the story takes another left turn. At the emergency HOA meeting, packed and heated, a new voice rises. Mariana Torres, Captain Torres's wife, who'd quietly endured Karen's reign for years. Turns out, she's a municipal lawyer. She stands up, lists every bylaw Karen broke, and announces she'll file formal complaints for obstruction and fraud. The room erupts. Karen, at home, starts a social media rant about deep state infiltration, uploads more shaky phone footage, even declares herself provisional road commissioner. Within hours, the board suspends her. The next morning, it's national news. From block party to blockade. Investigations follow, legal audits begin, and Karen is slapped with charges: obstruction, reckless endangerment, unauthorized detainment. As she's served, Mariana becomes the community hero, nominated for HOA president. Captain Torres issues a public statement, grateful the only thing truly hurt was an inflatable unicorn. Residents, once scared of fines, are finally talking. Kids play in the street, and someone hangs new wind chimes, just because they can. And Karen? She tries to start her own Karen Republic, HOA via Facebook, live streams from a folding chair in the rain, claims government conspiracy. Her support dries up. By election day, Mariana wins in a landslide. Karen doesn't show. Her house goes up for sale. Turns out she hadn't even paid her own dues. The legend of her meltdown lives on in memes, late-night skits, even a kid's award-winning animation. But what sticks with us isn't just the wildness. It's what came after. Neighbors stepping up, rules getting rewritten, community dinners where people actually laugh, not look over their shoulders. And that, I think, is the real ending. One roadblock, one tiara, one spectacular fall from grace later. Westbreed found out that real power doesn't come from fear or fake sashes, but from people willing to stand up together when it counts. That SO tell me. If you'd been there, would you have stood with Karen or helped move the barricade? Where's the line between community pride and crossing over into absurdity? Let me know down below, because sometimes it takes one unforgettable mess to figure out what kind of neighbors we really want to be.